Welcome back to the Westmoreland Sports Network for our Recruiting Thursday feature, brought to you by our friends at Sendell Volkswagen in Greensburg. We would love to meet you. Jack Ridenour here with you, and we are now joined by current Penn-Trafford softball player and recent Seton Hill softball commit, Rilie Moors. Rilie, first off, thanks so much for joining us today, and obviously a huge congratulations on the recent commitment. How does it feel to have this decision made and you can enjoy the rest of your senior season of softball?
It feels honestly really good. I wanted to make it before the season even started, but there was just a lot that went into it, and I'm glad to have it over with, and now I can focus on this season and just like my last ride.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure a huge weight lifted off your shoulders. But what was it about the Griffins, the school, the program that ultimately led you to wanting to continue your career there?
The coach had a big part. It was also the beautiful field. But it was honestly the biggest part was staying close to home. I'm very close with my family, and going far away kind of makes me nervous. I'm a homebody. I want to be here as long as I can. And having my grandparents be able to come and watch games, having my parents close by. Like, I live 10 minutes away from this campus. I am very, very close. So being able to stay close was a big part of it.
Well, have you decided on what you're going to major in there? Or is that something that you're thinking about a little bit further down the road?
I will be majoring in nursing for being at Seton Hill.
Awesome. That's very, very cool. That's very, very cool. Obviously, getting in the health field is such a
Yeah.
wonderful field to get into. But you mentioned being close to home, and I'm curious, with a lot of really good, prominent softball programs in the area, I mean, what were some other options you had? What were some schools that you were interested in and that were interested in you?
So I was looking at Pitt Johnstown for a while. I got an offer from there. That is near other family that I have, but it just wasn't the right fit. There's not much to do in Johnstown. I've grown up there basically, and Seton Hill was the one I was drawn to the most. I was also offered a spot on a D3 Muskingum school there in Ohio. That was probably my one of my top choices, but just not going so far and kind of staying more close to home was like what really brought me here.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to make that decision. Like you said, you want to find a place that makes you feel at home, close to home, and I think Seton Hill is that perfect spot for you. But getting into your career for the Griffins, I know that you do mostly outfield, but you also catch a little bit. Have you decided on what position you'll pursue at the next level, or is that signed, sealed, and delivered? You'll be an outfielder.
Um, Honestly, wherever you put me, I'll play. Catching is definitely one of the things I don't want to try, but if there's a spot, put me there. I just want to play. Outfield, I've always loved outfield. I was actually a second baseman for most of my career, but Coach Denny once said I need an outfielder and put me out there, and I have not moved. And I'm ecstatic because I'm on the field with the people I want to be with, and it gives a great opportunity for another girl, Ella Maines, and she's proved herself time and time again with some of the great plays she makes.
How much pride do you take in being a versatile player like that? Somebody that a coach can move around throughout the lineup and really throughout the field as well, and you have no problem playing that position.
Honestly, it's kind of scary. Like, I was thrown out in the outfield probably midway through our season, and this is like the second time around of section play. And I think my first game out there was Armstrong, one of our biggest rivals, and I know my teammates had my back, so if I made something, and my center fielder, Lauren Seppi, I knew wherever she was, she knew where I was. She was directing me and giving me all the help I needed. My coaches were always a big support in that, but definitely it's a little scary, but I love being able to do whatever my team needs me to do.
Well, that's definitely any coach's dream, having a player like that that's willing to do anything for the greater good and for the team overall. When you get ready to play at the next level, I mean, how much preparation have you already started to do in terms of just knowing what it's going to be like in the off season, whether that's with weights or other training? How much have you kind of prepared yourself already for that level?
Well, I've been starting to go to the gym more often because I'm not a very big girl. I definitely probably will get my butt whooped once we start doing lifts at Seton Hill and stuff, but I just want to kind of ease into it. I've also been doing a lot of stretching and a lot of like body care. I've been eating better. I know that once I get more into like the college ball, like high school is tough enough as it is. I can imagine college ball is going to be 10 times harder. I've also been working out and hitting at DBAT in Export. They just opened. I actually work there now. And I once after I think the first semester of Seton Hill, I'll be able to be giving like lessons and stuff, which is really awesome for me. That was also a big part on why I stayed is I have jobs here, you know.
Checks a lot of boxes off the list, my friend. So it sounds like you truly found a home away from home with it being in your backyard. But I want to get into a little bit, like you mentioned, about your time at Penn-Trafford, because your team has been one of the top teams in the WPIAL for quite some time now. And last season, a strong year. You ultimately lose in the semifinals, but still a deep run. How much added motivation have you seen from this group with a loss like that coming into this season, knowing, hey, we got to that point, let's get past that and get to a championship?
You know, it's really awesome. I mean, we lost two key players. We lost two of our best players this program has probably had. They were two very good role models for us. They kept us all in check for sure. But we have 7 seniors this year, and 6 of us are on that lineup ready to play, and the 7th is as much of a contributor as the rest of us. So I think having that leadership that we have this year, and I mean, most of us seniors have played with each other since we were 5. Like, we've played with each other for years. So I think we just kind of, we know what's expected of each other. We respect each other. And we just want the younger girls to just kind of be ready. This is definitely our time. Like, we've made some mistakes. We're not hitting sometimes. Like, it's just, this is our learning time. But once it starts section, they'll know, like, okay, it's time to go.
Well, speaking of section, I believe that starts either this week or early next week for you guys. You guys have also prepared well, though. I know that Coach Little does a great job of scheduling some really good non-section teams. You guys have played some really good ones as of recently. What have you liked from your team through the first couple games or so through the season?
Well, our first game was a Hemfield, and that's always they're always a testament. They have great pitching, just great all-around players. That was definitely going to be like, our coach even said, you're never going to see 2 pitchers like that again. So that was just a big, like, okay, this is what we need to be ready for. And then TJ was just, okay, another great team. Let's see what they can do. And, you know, we did a lot of, she was more of like a spot pitcher. So we did a lot of practice with our spots. We've also been working on a lot of 2-strike hitting after the Hemfield game, because we did get put in the hole a lot, and we just have to be ready for that. Who else do we play? But we have, I think, Shaler this Thursday, and they have always had a good pitcher. They've always been really good. So, I mean, it's just, we've been working a lot on our weapons, as Coach Denny calls them.
Well, I'm sure Coach Denny has also probably helped a big time with the hitting. I know he was a tremendous hitter back in his day, so I'm sure the 2-strike approach has been great for you and the Warriors. But Rilie, before we let you run, it's been a lot of fun to chat with you and just hear a little bit about your future at Seton Hill. But as the season continues on, I know we're very early on in the season, but as it starts to wear on a little bit more, what do you think will be the biggest key for your team to get you guys to a championship situation and ultimately capture a title?
I think just sticking with each other. I think the more we act as a team, the more we'll play as a team. So like, we do a lot of stuff together. I mean, most of us that are on the team hang out with each other like all the time. Our starting lineup has always been close. I mean, like I said, there's 6 of us on there that have been playing with each other since we were 5. And then the younger girls, like, they've also known, like, it's a very family team. We love spending time with each other. But I also think, like, once we're on the field, we're very focused and we know what needs to happen for us to win.
Well, it certainly sounds like it's going to be a very exciting season on the diamond for you and the Warriors. Rilie, again, thanks so much for stopping by. Congratulations on the commitment, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
That's Seton Hill softball commit, Rilie Moors. Thanks as always for joining us for another Recruiting Thursday feature brought to you by our friends at Sendell Volkswagen in Greensburg. We would love to meet you. Make sure you check out our other Recruiting Thursday features that are available on our YouTube channel. And as always, this is Jack Ridenour signing off, never saying goodbye, just a see you later, right here and only on the Westmoreland Sports Network.